Hi everybody, I'm Randy Williams and I'm back again in this third of a four-part tape series to talk to you about the Chee or sticky hands of Wing Chun Kung Fu. Now I've got an all-star cast of guys helping me out in this video. You'll recognize Ted Wong, who's one of Bruce Lee's top students. You'll see Jeff Yamada, who's a well-known escrimador, Kali Man, student of Danny Nosanto, and does a lot of stunt work in the films. He did my personal favorite, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You'll see Harry Wong out there, who did the Dynamic Strength book and video, and James Liu, of course, who's done many different action films. He does a lot of stunt work, and I'm sure you'll recognize him. And they really showed me some support and came out here to help me, and I really owe them a lot of thanks. Hope you enjoy this tape. I'm going to have a little bit of fun with it. You'll see that we kind of take it easy. We joke around a little bit here and there, but we do show you some serious technique, and we hope you enjoy it and that you can get a lot from it. Thanks very much. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is called Chi Dan Sao, or single sticky hand. It's also sometimes called Dan Chi Sao, or sometimes just Dan Chi, single stick. And this is a precursor to double sticky hands. A lot of the same motions that are used in the double sticky hands are used here in the single stick, but it's a little bit easier to concentrate because you're just using one hand at a time and the rest of the body does not move. There's no footwork initially. It's just a matter of doing the motion with one hand and concentrating on that without any external sort of distractions. So we're just concentrating on one thing at a time. Now basically the motions of the single sticky hand are going to be as follows. There's two positions that you could possibly be in. The first one would be from Tan Sao, palm up block, would be followed by Jing Jian, vertical palm strike, and Bong Sao. That would be a three-part motion, and back to the original. Tan, Jing Jian, Bong Sao. Tan Sao, Jing Jian, Bong Sao. So it's Tan, palm strike, Bong. Tan, palm strike, Bong. The other position would be from the Fuk Sao, bridging hand position. We'd go right from Fuk Sao, we'd go Jut, punch, Fuk. Jut, punch, Fuk. Jut, punch, Fuk. So what happens is when I match up with Wong Sifu, he's in the Tan Sao position, palm up. And I'm in the Fuk Sao position, just with three fingers metering his arm and a little ways up his arm. Not right at the hand, but a little ways up the arm. I have three fingers here, two fingers pinched. And his Tan Sao is rubbing right against my hand here. He's got a little bit of a bend in his wrist so that his thumb can check my arm. In other words, his thumb here is actually checking to make sure that my forearm doesn't do anything funny, drop out. The minute I try something, his thumb will tell him that I'm coming. Now, Wong Sifu's thumb here is bent, or rather the wrist is bent, so that the thumb can check my position of my forearm. So in case I try to do anything, disengage, right away he's going to know it. Whereas if his hand was straight here like this, and I tried something, he wouldn't have that little bit of extra checking against my arm. So what's going to happen here is he's got his hand bent like this, and that checks me to make sure that I don't try anything funny. Now, what happens next is Wong Sifu does the Jing Jian. Now, if I didn't block, what would happen is he'd hit me right square in the chest or face with that palm. But because I feel that coming, what I do is follow that thing. So as it strikes, I come in and I convert to Jut Sao, Loi Jut Sao, inside jerking hand. Now that follows the Wing Chun proverb. Wing Chun men say, Loi Lao Hoi Song, Lut Sao Jik Chung. What that means is, when something comes in, stick with it. And the minute that your hand is free, you should hit, you should strike forward. So in this case, from his Tan position, when he came in to strike me and I went to Jut Sao, what I did was Loi Lao. I followed what came. The next thing, Hoi Song. What I should do next is I should strike forward. So when I do, Wong Sifu feels me do that and he converts his hand up to what we call Bong Sao, the wing arm, and he stops my punch. Now at that point, he then drops back to Tan Sao position and I'm back to metering, so it's a three-part cycle. So he comes in with the strike, Jing Jian, at my chest, but I stop it. Then I come in with the punch and he goes Bong Sao, and then we come back down to the original position, which is my Fuk and his Tan. Now to switch sides, Wong Sifu drops out and becomes Fuk Sao, and I feel that and I convert to Bong. Then I drop back down into the Tan position, and now he's checking me. So my Tan is bent wrist, thumb checking his arm, his elbow is in, his three fingers are checking my arm here, his two fingers are pinched, so he's got me metered. Now what's going to happen is, when I try to go for my Jing Jiang at his chest, what he'll do is he'll sense that thing coming and he'll convert to jut sao and pull me. Now that stops my hand. The next thing that's going to happen is he's going to follow the proverb. He's going to let sao jik chung, or thrust forward when his hand's free. So when he goes to punch, I go boom and bong sao, stop him. Now one thing that it's a little tricky here on the bong sao, a lot of times you see people do single sticky hand and they seem to forget the whole point of the bong sao. What you don't want to do is have, this might look good, but actually if I were to walk forward, I'd be getting hit, see? So the way to really check your bong sao and make sure that you're actually deflecting properly is what you do is, what I kind of do is block my opponent's neck from my own view. So in other words, me looking down at him, I should see his face and his chest, but I don't see his neck. That tells me my bong sao position is right. This means that even if I walk forward, I'm not going to get hit. Because if I drop it, I'm going to get hit. But if I keep it up there, it's not going to hit me, even if I move in. See? Now going back, once again, here's how the cycle goes. When I go for my jing jiang, he does the jut sao. Then he goes to punch me, and I meet that with bong sao. And then I come back down to the tan position, and he drops to fuk sao. So I go jing jiang, bong sao, tan sao, and he's going jut sao, punch, and tan. Right, single sticky hand at speed. We're going with a 10 count, and then we'll switch from one side to the next. So it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 8, 1, 2, 9, 1, 2, 10. Switch, switch. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 8, 1, 2, 9, 1, 2, 10. Switch, switch. Right, the next combination we're going to is called the inside whip cycle, or in Chinese, loi fan king. Now it's very much like the single sticky hand combination that we just did, but it introduces the element of what we call jiao sao, or running hand. And that is a hand that disengages and goes around an obstruction. So what's going to happen is we're going to start out the same way that we did before. In other words, Ron's elbow is in, his 3 fingers here are checking me, his 2 fingers are pinched. My thumb is checking him, just like before. Now what's going to happen, initially I'm going to strike with the jing jiang vertical palm strike just like I did before, and Ron is going to deflect using his jut sao. But instead of waiting for his punch, which used to come in the other cycle, this time I'm going to disengage, dropping out, and circle my fist up right around my shoulder and come right around to a straight punch. It's not a back fist, it's a straight punch. And Ron is going to raise his elbow and meet it with bong sao. Then we're going to drop back down to the original position. Now I'm checking with 3 fingers here, 2 fingers pinched, and Ron's got his tan sao. He strikes with jut, he disengages and rolls out, and I meet it with bong sao. Then I drop back to the original position. So it goes strike, whip, roll. Strike, whip, roll. Strike, whip, roll. Right. The next version of single sticky hands that we're going to do is called the outside whip cycle, or Moi Fan Kun, outside whip. And what happens is we start out again in the position of Tan and Fook, just like the other two cycles. With Ron's Fook's out hand a little ways up my arm, not quite at the hand. His elbow is in, my thumb's checking him, just like before. 3 fingers metering me here, 2 fingers pinched. Now, again, this is going to start the same way as the other cycle, with my Jing Jiang vertical palm strike and his juts out. But this time what I'm going to do is drop my hand to the outside and start sort of a circular pattern that goes out and around, and then I'm striking back at the center line, and Ron meets it with his Tan Sao forward energy. Now, rather than go back to the Fook Sao position, straight away Ron strikes me with Jing Jiang and I go to Jet Sao to meet it. He drops out and then I go into the Tan Sao to stop him. I strike, he does Jet. I whip, he does Tan. He strikes, I do Jet. He whips, I do Tan. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 8, 1, 2, 3, 9, 1, 2, 3, and 10. Alright, next we're going to learn how to put footwork into the single sticky hand cycle. So what I'm going to do is move forward with my Jing Jiang vertical palm strike, and Ron's going to move backwards in response to that. Now if Ron did not move backward, when I move forward, even if he did a properly structured Jet Sao, it wouldn't be enough to conquer my forward motion. So in order to relieve the pressure created by my forward stance work, Ron's got to move backwards with his Jet Sao. Now he's going to move forward with his next punch, and again, to relieve the pressure created by his forward stance motion, I move back with my Bong Sao, and then we both return to the original position. Now this type of mirroring footwork is called zui ying, or chasing in Chinese. Chasing meaning mirroring that guy's footwork, moving back according to how far he moves forward, or forward according to how far he moves back. Now, to do the cycle with the footwork inserted would look like this. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 5, 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 8, 1, 2, 9, 1, 2, 10. Switch, switch. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 8, 1, 2, 9, 1, 2, 10. All right, now we're going to put footwork into the inside whip cycle. So what we'll do is, from position here, Bill will strike and step forward, and I'll move backwards and do jets out. Then he'll move forward again, stepping all the way through with his inside whip, and I'll step back with bongs out. Then we'll come back to position. Now I'll step forward and he'll move back. I'll step forward and he'll move back, and then we'll move back to a good stance. So he goes forward, whip, roll, strike, 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 whip, roll. What I'm going to be demonstrating now with the help of Sifu Ted Wong, who we all know is the top student of late Bruce Lee, we're going to be demonstrating a little of what's called Luk Sao, which is rolling hands. It also has the name Pun Siang Sao or Chee Siang Sao. Both are double sticky hands or double rolling hands. So what we're going to do is work a little bit on the switching now. I'll be describing to you in a later part of the series how we go about the individual switches, but we're going to demonstrate it for you right now. Right now, we start off in a position where we're rolling back and forth, and each one of us has what we call a riding hand, and each one of us has what's called a rolling hand. So right now, both of us have a left riding hand, meaning fooks out, and both of us have a right rolling arm, which means an arm that goes rolling up from bongs out to tans out, and that's going to be continuous. Now, whenever either one of us decides it's time to switch, we do a couple of different ways of switching. One is called the tan switch. So from the bottom, if I wanted to do the tan switch, I would be dropping out with my tan and then coming around the outside. Sensing that, Wong Sifu then converts to bong while his other hand rolled the tan as normal. Then, in order to maintain the symmetry, he would come around the outside and do the same thing back to me, and then we'd continue rolling. But now each one of us has a right riding hand and a left rolling hand. So we've actually switched sides. So we'll keep this up and we'll try sort of to feel each other's intention. We'll use a little bit of forward, inward, reciprocal drilling energy and just kind of move around back and forth. Now later on we'll do combat out of this roll. When we sense an opening in the opponent's defense or offense, we'll come in and try to exploit that. You got to watch out because sometimes he baits you by not really sort of having an opening but pretending there's one there. So when you take advantage of it, he blasts you. But for right now, we're just going to show you a little bit of the rolling. So you just watch how we do this, and every now and then we'll do the switching. I showed you the tan switch on the right, now I'll show you on the left. So from the bottom, I'll drop out and come right around the outside, and I'll come up over the top. Sensing that, Wong Sifu converts to bong sao while his other hand flips down to tan as normal. Then he'll come back and switch back on me, and now we're rolling on the other side. So we'll do this. Now, at this point, I'll show you guys the next switch, which is called the fook switch. Now in the fook switch, I go from my high fook sao position, without moving my right tan sao at all, I scoop straight down and come straight up to bong, and he's converted now to fook. Then I'll do the tan switch from before to complete, and now we're rolling again as normal. So here we're rolling again. And then again, to show you from the other side, from the high fook, I would scoop down, become bong, and then do a tan switch right around the other side, and then we're rolling again. So just to review those 4 switches again, or rather 2 switches done 4 ways. The tan switch would be from here. I would drop out and hook as he becomes bong and the other hand rolls to tan. Then he would come back with his own tan switch, and then we're rolling again. And then from the other side, I'd come here, I'd drop out, he'd react by coming up to bong while his other hand turns to tan. Then he'll come around the outside and switch it back. Now to review the fook switch one more time, from the high fook position, I scoop downwards, come up to bong, drop out with the other hand, and come up to Fuchs out. And then we're rolling again. And finally, to review the Fuchs switch on the other side one more time, from the high Fuch, I would scoop down, become bong, and then do a Tan switch. So now we'll just do a couple of minutes of rolling hands, and you can just watch how the switches take place. And stop. Thank you very much for. The first form of Chee is called Luk Sao, which means double rolling hands. And it's a repetitive, reciprocal inward twisting pattern in which the arms of two trainees cling together with forward drilling energy designed to strengthen technique, enhance the ability to flow in motion, build sensitivity and timing, and pack energy into the forearms. Once the base pattern of Luk Sao has been mastered, it also provides a foundation for further sticky hand development, as literally any motion of the system can be inserted into its cycle. This also applies to all Wing Chun drills, including the single sticky hand exercise, the inside and outside whip patterns, and many of the sequences of the Lap Sao cycle. At the beginning stages of Luk Sao training, both partners remain in fixed Yi Ji Ki Myung Ma positions during the roll. Later, all forms of Ma Bo can be inserted into the cycle as the trainees move in every direction without stopping or losing any count of the rolling pattern. This follows an old Wing Chun proverb regarding mobility, Sao Yok Gyok Do, Dong Jok Ling Tong, which means coordinate the motion of hands and feet. Movement is fluid and continuous. As the trainees' Chee Sao skills improve and the less predictable Lap Sao patterns are introduced into the roll, extremely intricate rhythmic series of motions appear which require lightning-fast reactions and split-second timing as the students move together in a controlled cadence, smoothly flowing into various sub-patterns and back into the base roll. To this end, the use of a metronome or some other form of timekeeping device can be of great benefit, giving both partners a common denominator of timing and cadence to work toward. With the guidance of a competent instructor, the Luk Sao cycle can produce an infinite number of offshoot patterns, all of which can return to the base roll at the discretion of either partner. Like an intricate drum solo improvised by a jazz musician, Luk Sao rolling begins with a clear-cut, well-defined cadence from which the rhythm can vary in infinite ways, shooting off in assorted tangents and eventually returning back to the original form before heading back out into another direction. Luk Sao rolling begins with a clear-cut, well-defined cadence from which the rhythm can vary in infinite ways, shooting off in assorted tangents and eventually returning back to the original form before heading back out in another direction. Although some of the riffs the drummer may work his way into may seem fragmented or unrelated to the bass rhythm, they are in fact born of it, just as techniques purposely executed with breaking timing might seem to violate principles of continuity, count, and cadence, when it is those very concepts that create the various forms of Wing Chun timing. The basic reciprocally rolling Luk Sao pattern, also known as Pun Siang Sao, begins with both partners in Yi Ji Ki Myung Ma with the arms extended in any one of the 8 relationships based on 4 possible combinations of the 2 main hand positions used in Luk Sao, the rolling hand and the riding hand. I use the term rolling hand to describe the action of an arm that twists up and down from Tan Sao position to Bong Sao and back down to Tan. The term riding hand refers to the relaxed wristed, elbow-in Fuch Sao position, which itself initiates no positive action in the cycle, but instead rides the rolling hand with constant light forward and inward pressure. If the rolling hand were to stop suddenly within the cycle, the riding hand would stop with it, as it is only the motion of the rolling hand that propels it upward and downward. In other words, the riding hand simply leans on the rolling hand and goes wherever it goes and stops whenever it stops. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to insert the single sticky hand patterns into the rolling hand cycle. So we're going to do the rolling hand, and then we're going to insert these in. Okay? Now it sounds harder than it is. Now what happens is, starting out from the rolling hand position, here we are in looks out, so we're working on the roll. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the first single sticky hand pattern into the roll. So from my tan, I'm going to go jing jang, and Ran does the jut. Then he goes to tan da, and then back down. Now we're going to do one more roll, and now Ron's going to do the strike and I do the jut. Then I'm going to punch back at him, and then roll, roll, switch, switch. Now he goes strike, and I go punch, roll. Then strike, punch, roll, roll. Then I go strike, he goes punch, roll, roll, switch, switch. So the pattern is strike, punch, roll, roll, strike, punch, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, punch, roll, roll, strike, punch, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, punch, roll, roll, strike, punch, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, punch, roll, roll, strike, punch, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, punch, roll, roll, strike, punch, roll, roll, switch, switch. Right, next we're going to insert the single sticky hand cycle with footwork into the Luxao roll. So what's going to happen is, from the rolling position, Ron is going to step forward and do his jing jang. I'll step back and do jut. Then I'll step forward and punch, and he'll step back. Then we'll come back to position. Then we're going to roll. Now I'm going to move forward, and he's going to move back. Now he's going to move forward, and I'll move back. And then back to position. Roll, switch, switch. Now I move forward, and he moves back with jut. Now he moves forward, and I move back. Back to position. Then roll. Now he moves forward, and I move back. I move forward, and he moves back. And then back to position. Roll, switch, switch. So the pattern is strike, punch, roll, roll, strike, punch, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, punch, roll, roll, strike, punch, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, punch, roll, roll, strike, punch, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, punch, roll, roll, strike, punch, roll, roll, switch, switch. All right, to insert the inside whip cycle into the roll, the pattern is like this. From the roll, it goes strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, switch, switch. To insert the inside whip cycle with footwork into the Luxao roll, the pattern will be step forward, strike, step forward, whip, step forward, roll, step back, roll, roll, switch, switch. Forward, 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 back, 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 roll, switch, switch. So it's strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, switch, switch. Strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, switch, switch, strike, whip, roll, strike, whip, roll, roll, switch, switch. Alright, that's all for now. But in the next half of this tape, we're going to be talking more about the advanced sticky hands. We'll be going into more about the look sao cycle. We'll be doing some guo sao combat attacks and some combat response chains. So until next time, this is Randy Williams reminding you to keep your cool in sticky hands practice. Don't make it a Texas Chee sao massacre.